Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Anatomage Tournament Championship. Thank you for joining us today. Over 200 teams, totaling over 1,000 students, have entered and competed in this tournament. We started our event with a qualifying round where teams needed to score a 75% in order to advance into the preliminary round. From that point, 200 of the teams started, only 70 remained. And from there, they needed to get the highest score they could possible to get into the top 16 teams that would be in this tournament. Of those top 16, only 8 remain. And now that brings us to today, where we have the top 8 teams ready to compete against each other, ready for you at home to watch what's going on. And we're ecstatic to have a gifted group of students here with us and ready to take on this challenge. So from these 8 teams, we will only have one national anatomy champion. And so we're going to find out just who that is very shortly. So before we get started, I would like to turn over the stage to the person who created the Anatomage Tournament, as well as the technology that runs it. I would like to introduce the CEO of Anatomage, Dr. Jack Choi.
Hi, my name is Jack Choi, the founder and CEO of Anatomage. Welcome to our very first Anatomage Tournaments National Championship. We started this Anatomage Tournament as a small regional event, but now it has grown into a very big national event. And as you know, this particular event, we have more than 200 schools participating in this event. I'm so excited about that. And every one of you reached up to this far. Congratulations and making this far. You know, you already demonstrated you are expert and have a great knowledge in anatomy. And you should be very proud of what you have accomplished so far. So as you know, we'll be competing with Anatomage tables, the digital bodies. Our digital bodies are from real human who donated their body for medical education. And as you know, you explore our bodies, they are not necessarily same to the anatomy you saw from medical textbook, because they are real human, real body. Everyone is different. And this makes our competition more exciting and interesting. And then also, you know, as you explore our body, I hope you find it something that is fascinating to you. For me, it's very fascinating. Just looking at our human body, seeing the shape and the function. And it is really exciting and interesting for me. And then I get to have a more curiosity of how our body works. And this, our body, creates all our human accomplishments and arts, sports, everything we created is from these anatomical structures. And just thinking about that, this is very fascinating thing for me. And hopefully that is something that exciting for you as well. And what we are trying to achieve is have a more interest in students getting into science and medicine field by starting this learning about anatomy. And you know, we would like to make this event very exciting and interesting. This anatomy competition is a form of academic testing. Academic testing, as you know, is inherently tedious, boring, or maybe intimidating too. But we would like to make this thing something enjoyable, something you find it exciting. So this year we still have to do virtual, but I'd like to hopefully next year we can achieve in-person real event so that we can hear all the cheering of the student at the same time. And then I want to make this event as a big sports event and all students excited about. Hopefully you enjoy this event too, and hopefully it is good learning experience for you too. Thank you.
Ready? All right, good afternoon, and thank you for joining. My name is Stephen King, and this is Tiffany Price, anatomist extraordinaire from Anatomage, and we will be your hosts for today's round of the inaugural National Anatomage Tournament. Today's event will consist of 8 teams with 4 rounds initially, taking us to the top 4 teams, and from there, 2 more rounds that will bring us to the finals. For today's competition, teams will compete head-to-head in a single elimination round in which the team with the highest score will move on, while the team with the lower score is eliminated. If there's a tie, the team with the faster time to win the round and that team with the fewest skipped questions will be deemed the winner. The goal of the tournament is to test the anatomical knowledge of each team using the Anatomage table. The name of an anatomical structure will be displayed, and the team must find and select that structure. For each correct answer, the team will be awarded 10 points. For each incorrect answer, the team will lose 1 point. Teams can skip questions and not gain or lose points. If there's any time remaining at the end of the round, any questions that they skipped will come back for an opportunity to be answered at that time. So you'll see teams strategically skipping some of the more difficult questions, at least up front, in hopes to have time to come back and answer them at the end of the round. Also, you'll see strategies employed where teams will maybe skip questions or take a shot at a question hoping to get the 10 points, knowing that even if they miss it, that they only lose 1 point. So there's a few things in play here, and we'll have to see what each team does, but you'll sort of pick that up as we go. For the top 8 and top 4 rounds, there will be 25 questions and 5 minutes to complete the round. For the finals, there will be 30 questions and 6 minutes to complete the round. There's a countdown timer that you'll be able to see in the top left portion of the screen. And then the scores will be displayed in the top right corner of the screen. Each team consists of 3 to 5 players working together to identify the structures, and you'll hear them working together, talking together, sometimes frantically actually, to find the answer. There will be 1 point person in charge of making that selection, but the team will be making that selection together, and whoever they decided to be their captain or point person will make the selection and move on. You'll see at the bottom of each screen a confirm button and or a skip button. When they think they have it right, they'll hit confirm and they'll move to the next question. If they want to skip it, they'll select skip and they'll move to the next question that way. Okay, the teams competing today are our number 1 seed, the Hanson Anatomia alum from Mountain House High School in California.
They'll be competing against the number 8 seed, the Fush Fighters from Auburn High School in Washington State.
The next round will be the number 4 seed, the Med Eagles from Arlington High School in Washington State.
Competing against the number 5 seed, the Sultan Turks of Sultan High School, also in Washington State.
The next round will be the number 2 seed, EEC exclamation point, from Agora Hills in California.
Against the number 7 seed, Dr. Lee and the ICU Bandits from Baton Rouge Magnet High School in Louisiana.
And then the last round of the top 8 today will be the number 3 seed, the Wildcats from East Chapel Hill High School in North Carolina.
Against the number 6 seed, the Vipers Hosa from Verrado High School in Arizona.
So we're looking forward to a very exciting round of competition today. Again, we're going to start off with the top 8 teams, moving all the way down to the 4 and then the top 2, which will be in the finals. I want to say congratulations to everyone, however, because as you heard earlier, we started this competition with over 200 teams. Making it even to these rounds is amazing. So congratulations to everyone who has made it this far. To us, there really are no losers at this point. We're very excited to see what happens, so best of luck to everybody in today's rounds.
Iliac spine.
Anterior, inferior.
Right there.
Right
Just
pisiform.
bring your hand
Right
on the
bottom.
Last 60 seconds.
Got it?
Your hands on the left.
Only
Okay,
turn.
let me skip this one for now.
Okay.
To-do list.
Right on the bottom. Yep. That looks good.
Pelvic process. Left is
Left is on top.
left is on top. Okay. Radius is the outside.
Yep. But then the hand like this, so that would be the ulnar, right?
This is the outside.
Yeah, but the hand upside down. Standing inward.
Yep. This is still outside. Oh wait.
Should we skip?
Let me skip.
Yeah.
Coracohumeral.
Bottom.
Yep.
Okay, this is flexor retinaculum.
Oh, I see it now.
Left is on top.
Top, yeah. So the band on top.
Why does this not work?
Wait, you have to hold this. Wait. Now left is on the
Volume
bottom.
control normally.
It's here.
That's upside
No,
down.
this is right. Yeah, that's right.
It's that one.
It's inside.
Yeah.
Okay, new shoulder ligament.
From near the head.
Prepatellar bursa. Let me skip this.
Yeah.
Anterior sacral. Yeah. Yeah. Part.
Deltoid ligament. Right, so it should be near the shoulder.
No, tibio though. Tibio navicular.
Okay. So that's the tibia and navicular is right there.
Navicular is over here. Wait.
No, it's that. Skip it.
This one.
Okay.
Superior gamma. Okay.
On the back.
Left on bottom.
Left, yeah. No, that's the correct side.
Okay. Superior. It's this one.
That one, yeah.
Semispinalis capitis. So the splenius capitis. But
Left is on the bottom now. Yeah,
so this is
that's genius.
let me skip it.
Okay.
Flexor carpi.
You have to go faster, we're not gonna make it.
Okay.
Extensor digital.
Right. Extensor is on the back.
This is the back. The right.
Will this be flexor though?
All right, this is a very tight race. It's been close all the way through. We're starting to see
Supraspinatus.
Auburn pull ahead here with 97 points now. And you can
No, I
see
know where this one is
how collaborative this exercise is and how
okay,
well some of
right
these
here.
teams are working together to get through this. One of the biggest challenges we see anytime we do one of these tournaments is really identifying the orientation. I mean left and right, right and left. When you're trying to go through something so quickly and get it correct, and you flip the cadaver over to make a different choice, for example, it now switches for you. So it's very important that the team works together, and that while that person's making the selection as the point person, that the team is also helping them to make sure it's left and right is correct, so on and so forth. Oh boy, look at that. That's a quick comeback by Peter Hansen's right there, 95 to 107. It's anybody's game right now, to be honest with you. 117 right now over to Auburn, keeping their lead. And that's it. Okay, Auburn takes it. So congratulations. Auburn is moving on. That is our first winner moving on to the top 4. Congratulations, Auburn.
Congrats.
Okay.
Awesome job, everybody.
Yes. So Auburn of the state of Washington, the Foosh Fighters, is moving on. This is their first year competing in any of our tournaments. At least for this one, but they did win the WCT SMA conference, and so these are experienced. This is an experienced group, and we're looking forward to seeing what they do in the next round. All right, up next we have the Arlington High School Med Eagles. This is our number 4 seed from the state of Washington. They're actually using the Anatomage table to compete in the tournament. They've downloaded Zoom, and so they're joining through that. So this will be very interesting to see how they do. There's actually 2 siblings on this team, and this is their second tournament with Anatomage. The first one they did was the WCT SMA tournament, just like Auburn School. So the team is comprised of rising seniors and sophomores, and this will be exciting for them. Next is Sultan.
All right, so they're going to be facing off against the Sultan Turks from Sultan High School in Washington. This team is comprised of 3 rising sophomores and 2 rising juniors, and they are all sports medicine students. They also competed in a previous tournament. They competed in the Washington HOSA Anatomage Tournament. So looking forward to seeing how this match turns out.
All right, good luck, guys.
Zoom, shift, zoom.
Anterior, superior, spinal.
That one? Great, perfect, perfect, we're doing good, let's go, guys. Oh, Brandon,
Lateral malleus.
elbow, good.
Do you need a zoom? Move?
Yes,
Move?
okay, so,
That's okay.
um,
Yeah, just
it's
post
the
your,
big, it's the big
Trivium.
one. Is it the-
post to your side.
Isn't that right? Yeah,
Post
is
it.
that it? Is that it? Okay, sorry. Okay, we're changing. It's
What?
okay, let's go, guys, we're doing good. We're doing good. Thyroid process of the ulna.
Do you need to move?
What side? Left. This side?
Right.
Nothing, that side.
Figure-
Okay, the green part, or is it the yellow part?
Probably, I would say that. Okay.
Yes, no?
It's the long one.
Oh, no, that's fine, that's okay. Anterior.
No, use.
Okay, shift for July. Let's go, guys. Lateral malleolus.
That one.
Yeah. You think it's- This is
Yeah.
Lateral process.
Okay, let's go. Doing good.
Let's go.
Navicular, right? You're right. You're
The ulna.
right. The navicular.
No.
Yeah, okay, confirm, we're all chilling, let's go, we're doing good.
The,
Ooh, is it this one?
that's
Yes. I think
on the bottom.
Is it right, wait,
Do you
is it
agree?
right?
Yeah.
Right, right, confirm.
It's acromial, so it's gonna be connecting both of them.
Cool.
It's in the shoulder. Do you want to skip?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where that is.
Posterior.
Maybe the posterior, so that side.
Oh, I think we got this one before. It's
Sacro.
turn around, it's posterior. It's posterior.
Iliac.
Back. Okay, that's okay.
Oh, what would be
Do you need to
these?
No.
Yeah.
Is it this?
Yeah. Iliac.
Posterior, no, that's
Yeah.
not sorry. Wait,
I don't know where that is.
sacrum, it's-
Oh, I know. Extensor,
Let's go. Extensor.
Skip.
Chair.
oh, deltoid.
We know this one,
Oh.
right? Or no?
It's the neck.
It's
Okay.
the neck, yeah. It's this one. It's hard to split, yeah. Yes, yes. Let's
Anterior.
go, we got this.
Should be the front.
Yes.
On the front side.
Do we never play this?
Good.
Philip Major.
Tibio. Tail.
Tibia.
Yeah.
And last minute,
Should we go? Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Alright.
This is right.
Yes, yes.
So it's major.
That one's on right.
Do you guys? It's in the.
Good job, guys. Radiality.
This one?
Sorry.
This one? I think.
Yeah.
You guys think? Yeah.
Oh, this one. Do you know where it is?
I don't know where that is.
That's the one. Do you know where it is?
Car.
Yes, let's go.
In the big toe.
Right. Big toe. And it's gonna be in the top right. Extensor should be on the top. It should be just connecting to the. It's hard.
It's not that one, so it.
Oh wait.
No. It's not that one.
Okay, let's go.
No, it's not connected. Wait, no, it is. I think it's this one.
Okay. Oh, you're wrong. Okay, Kathy, can you stop playing?
Wait, this one, what?
This one.
I don't know where that is.
Is it that, you guys think?
I don't know. You're
That's
the
an
one.
adductor.
Okay.
Okay,
It seems
it's
wrong. Okay.
Clean shoulder.
It's the
Right,
shoulder.
on the top.
We were looking at this one earlier.
Right
Is it the red one?
there.
It's
Yeah.
yellow.
Look on that poster.
but-
It's a vein.
Extensor.
So it has to-
Oh, vein, okay, sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that one?
It could be further, do you guys wanna go with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes! Owner artist. Oh my goodness. Okay. This side? Okay, sorry. This side.
So that's
And,
right there.
artery.
Yeah, go in there, right there, this one.
Yes, right. Is that one it?
So we've got another exciting match going on here.
Let's
Let's
go.
Arlington came in hot with the muscles and some of the nerve vessels, and now they're pull away with this thing. I don't know, Stephen, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a good example where we see some of the teams employing the strategy of maybe skipping questions that you don't know right away. A couple of things that teams will do, if they don't know the answer to the question, they'll skip it immediately so that they can just move on to something that they might know, and again, in hopes that it will come back. The other strategy is to take your time, look at the root and the suffix of it, and maybe figure it out based on the title of the structure. And then if you've spent 30 seconds on it, go ahead and take a shot, because if you miss it, you only lose 1 point. But if you get it right, you get 10 points. So it kind of becomes that gamble, and we see that here. So right now you can see, I think, yeah, there it is. Wow, 136 to 97.
Good job to both teams,
Yes,
though.
congratulations.
Congratulations to Arlington.
Okay, coming up next for the next round, we have Agora High School, the EEC. They are our number 2 seed out of California. They actually just hosted their own Anatomage Tournament X, which is a tournament that any school can do on their own, where they invite other schools to come and participate. So they just did this on their own. So they're pretty well versed in what they're doing. And I can say, I've watched these guys in person, so it's a good team. They recently just won the AACI tournament as well. So that is a sports medicine group out of California that has hundreds of teams competing. That's a live tournament, and they won that tournament. So this is going to be a team to reckon with for sure.
All right, and they're facing off against the number 7 seed, Baton Rouge Magnet High School out of Louisiana. So this is actually the team's 4th tournament that they've competed in. Month in the 5th tournament at the HOSA International Conference. So they've got a lot of experience as well at the tournaments. How do they study? Well, they take a list of structures and put them into an online spinner wheel, and whatever the structure lands on, that's what they study. It's an interesting approach to studying. I don't think I ever tried that in my day. And they also use the Anatomage app on their iPad to study. So
Good for them.
awesome.
All right, this will be a very interesting round. Good luck to both teams.
Good luck.
Circling, it doesn't matter. It's elimination.
They've been tied.
It's this one then,
Yes,
because that one's
middle.
got to be the middle.
All right, anterior
Anterior
longitudinal.
longitudinal. I don't
Skip it.
skip.
Palmar aponeurosis. Skip
Skip.
that.
Iliolumbar. Oh, I know that. Yeah, iliolumbar.
Right.
Right. That's yeah. It's
If we don't know, we gotta skip, guys. All right, subcutaneous.
Infrapatellar.
Infrapatellar.
This one,
Right.
There you go. Just go ahead and
It's
grab it.
this one?
Yeah, go. Subcutaneous is on
We
surface.
got about 3 minutes.
Inferior.
Yeah,
Skip.
let's just not do it right now.
Pectineus.
It's in the hip.
That's in the hip. Is that
Left side.
is that this one or this one?
I think it would be that one.
This
He
one?
thinks it's the other one. Yeah.
Other one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Extensor
Extensor digit. That's in the wrist. That's in the wrist.
Yeah, it's the singular extensor.
Left side,
Okay.
left side.
Left. Nice.
Yes, good.
Fibularis
brevis.
brevis. Right.
Yeah, you know.
I know this one.
Go for it.
Fib. Oh, brevis.
Brevis.
That
There you
one.
go. You're good.
Scapula. You know this.
It's in the shoulder. I don't know which one this
All
is.
right,
I'm skipping it.
iliacus.
Iliacus. Okay, it's gotta be. So that's gotta be this one then. Unless it. No, it's on the ilia.
Yes.
Ilium.
Is that?
That's
All
right.
right, perfect.
Obturator.
Internus. It's that one. It's
This
the
one?
obturator in the hip, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Subscapular.
Subscapularis.
We know this,
Subscap. It's not these. It's
No,
that one.
It's very. It's very. Okay. It's
Okay,
fine.
median,
Median
median,
nerve. You know
median.
this. Right side.
His right.
Right. That. It's the middle
The
one.
middle one.
Yeah. Median nerve. There you go. That's good. All right,
Brachio.
Brachio.
Skip,
Skip
skip.
it.
Brachial artery.
left.
Left.
Artery.
Oh, artery.
And it's, would it be further down? When you take close biceps femoris.
oh, yeah.
There you go. Brachial artery.
Nice.
Common
Common
fib, you know this
fib. Right. It breaks off right there. There we go.
There you go. You're good. Perfect.
Medulla
Medulla oblongata.
That's-
Flip it over.
Okay. Do you know which one it is, Emma? Middle?
Yeah, it's the middle.
So this, no,
No.
Skip it. Skip it. We don't.
that, oh wait, skip, we can come back. Internal jugular. Right.
Right. Internal jugular. There you go. You're good. Confirm.
Okay, so this round.
Okay,
Radial
very
tuberosity.
interesting. So it's
Radius,
still anybody's round.
I
believe
know
it or
this
not.
one.
All right.
What
I
we
just need
see
to
was
see
a
it.
strategy applied by Baton Rouge, which is Dr. Lee and the ICU Bandits. They were skipping some of the questions initially to get to the ones that they knew they could get, and they got some points early on in the board. So with just under a minute left, we're starting to see those come back. So the questions that they skipped, they're now back to answering. So they took advantage of trying to move through very quickly to get as many points as possible. And so they're 147 to 114. But you can get 5, 10, 20 points pretty quickly here, just within seconds. So we'll see what this ends up. But right now it looks like Baton Rouge is about to take it. Yeah, 10 seconds left. All right, yeah, I think this one is done. 157, that's a great score, by the way. So congratulations to Dr. Lee and the ICU Bandits from Baton Rouge. That's great. Okay, so moving into the next round, we've got our number 3 seed. This is East Chapel Hill High School. These are the Wildcats from North Carolina. This is the first year that the team has completed or competed in an Anatomage tournament at all. So their first experience in North Carolina was at HOSA, where they actually discovered that we do these types of tournaments, and they saw it. So hopefully we'll see them again here in the upcoming weeks when we do the ILC. The 2022 tournament is their first virtual tournament. So prior to North Carolina HOSA and the last conference they had, they'd never even seen the table. But when they returned home, they realized their high school, East Chapel Hill, actually had one. So that was kind of an interesting thing. So all team members are rising juniors and took the project Lead the Way course in human body systems. So congratulations to them. And their study strategy is really just initially this team started with more specific structures and then worked on studying the larger, more common structures. However, they realized that by focusing on the smaller structures as they started, to get more common ones, they could really kind of keep moving through and use the strategy to excel.
All right, so they're going to be facing off against number 6, Verado High School, the Vipers HOSA. This school does not have a table. They are from Arizona, and they actually won first place in the Arizona HOSA Anatomage Tournament. So even though they don't have a table of their own, they still managed to pull out a win at HOSA. And they are 3-time state champions in the Anatomage Tournament for Arizona HOSA. So awesome, Verado. And they are also scheduled to compete in the HOSA ILC International Tournament later this month. So when they're competing live, they use styluses to interact with the table, and so they have been affectionately dubbed Team Stylus because of their use of styluses. So this team is composed of 2 recent graduates and 3 rising seniors, and their study system is to divide and conquer.
Yeah, we see that. Yeah, well, we see that a lot. Well, you'll see somebody will say, you take muscles, you take bones, for example, or you take the GI. And that's a very interesting strategy. Well, I'd like to see how this is going to work out.
Yeah, it's like you have, a very strong, one person who's very strong
Yep.
in each system that can kind of lead
Right,
the way through.
right.
So
So good luck, both
good luck,
teams.
both teams.
Okay, lateral malleus. Go down, go down. Lateral. Do you want to skip it or? Okay.
Yeah.
Ischial.
Go back,
To the back.
to the back, backside, backside, backside.
Sorry, it's weird.
That thing, the
This one?
green, right there,
Yeah.
that
This?
green, yeah.
No,
The green,
Luna,
Yes.
is that too? Okay, yeah, too much.
intertuberous sulcus.
Sulcus.
No, I don't.
No.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, I know.
You,
Come back to
uniform, go down, right,
tuberosity of the ulna.
this one,
This one?
yes.
This one.
Lunate,
This
right
one?
hand,
Zoom.
zoom,
It's the high. This one?
go right there,
This one?
yeah.
Left?
Tuberosity,
Oops, that's
down, left,
side,
yeah.
Is it this one?
No, not that, that's a
Do you want to skip
silent.
it? You going one? Sacral? Okay.
Yeah, that was wrong. Sacral tuberosity,
Skip it.
yeah.
Super.
Patella tenacium.
Purple? Left side. Yeah. Flexor is on the. No, it's on
Back,
the back.
back,
Okay.
the palm side.
This is taking too much time.
Yeah, palm side.
Inferior
Yeah.
conohumeral joint. Or
Oh,
ligament.
it's wrong.
Right is on the bottom.
Talofibular. Zoom.
Actually, oh shoot. Anterior
Side.
too.
Alright.
It's on the lateral side.
that one. Yeah. Okay, inferior glenohumeral.
Are you sure? I flipped them upside down.
Right side over there. You can probably,
Okay. Wow. This.
right there. Yeah, there, go.
Pisiform.
Nuchal. All right, go back, back. Like, just right there. Like, just click that right there. Yeah.
Shoot, guys. If we just need to skip it.
Suprapatellar, or down. Right side, up there, right, yes.
These are so small.
Okay.
Supra. Yeah.
Can you zoom in, please?
Yeah, I can't see that. This one's the right, the left, right?
No, that thing.
I'm flipping them.
Carpine left.
Right.
On there, can you zoom in, please? Let me see. Yeah.
Fibular sulcus.
Gracialis.
Yeah. Wait, that's the left side.
Yeah.
Go back. Medius. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, you can
I'm gonna flip them.
Yeah.
At the top.
Supraspinatus, back.
Rhomboid minor.
Here's the other side. Yeah.
Left. Gracilis. Sorry. Yeah.
Just go down,
Sophus. We just did this.
Isn't it this one? Isn't it? No.
I'm skipping it.
No. Can you go to
Tibial
the third
nerve.
one? It's not that. It's not that. Yeah.
This one?
Okay. Piriformis.
Subclavian. Subclavian vein. Right?
we can
Is
do
this
it
the
from
right
front?
side?
We can't get it from the back. Okay, go to the front.
This one.
My bad.
Hang on. This? Okay.
No.
Inwards more. Inwards more. More. Which side?
Right there. Vicky, can you try it more?
This one?
Yeah.
Right there?
Tibial nerve.
Right.
Okay, so
So weird.
here we see East Chapel Hill, the Wildcats, really pulling away here early on, doing a very good job of using their time and being strategic on the questions that they answer. They're at 148 right away. It's going to be very, very difficult, I would say, for Verado to make a comeback at this point with 40 seconds left. And I got to tell you something, this is pretty impressive to get this score like this. And Verado is a multiple-time champion in this tournament, when we do them live or any virtual tournament we've done in the past. So,
Bit of an upset.
yeah, to move on past them is really well done, I got to say. And they're coming in at 178. This, I think, is one of the higher scores that we've seen today. So East Chapel Hill is doing really well right now. I think it's pretty safe to call it at this point that East Chapel Hill will be moving on there. So as we move into, the Final Four, boy, congratulations, East Chapel Hill. Really, again, congratulations to everyone. To make it this far is unbelievable. I think many of us, outside of our anatomists extraordinaire, have an absolute challenge in identifying half of these structures.
Half?
So, half. So, that being said, to even get this far is really fantastic.
No small feat, that's for sure.
So, moving on to this is the top 4 teams. We have Auburn will be against Arlington, and then we have Baton Rouge against East Chapel Hill. So this is going to be very interesting. Now we're going to see some of these that employ their strategies, and they've made it into these next rounds. We'll see if those strategies can oust that other team. As I said earlier, the questions in each round get harder as you go to the next round. They're designed to be that way. However, what we've seen sometimes is that perhaps even though we put harder questions in there, if that's a subject area that was being studied maybe in the last semester, even though it's harder, a team that didn't do so well in one round might actually excel in that next round just because that happened to be what they were studying
Pressure
in the
their
last
brains,
month.
or it's just
Exactly.
more in their wheelhouse.
Exactly. So that being said, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Again, designed to be more difficult, and I can say that when we get to the finals that we don't often see very high scores at all. Those are very challenging questions. So we'll see what happens, but again, now going into this round, we've got Auburn High School against Arlington High School. So good luck, both teams.
Good luck.
All right.
Oh.
Oh,
Left.
left.
Oh,
It's up here, right here.
right here.
Orange?
No, that's
No,
medial.
Yeah.
Blue 100%. Yes.
It's
No,
no,
skip. If you don't, just help.
No.
It's a
Intercondyle
That's in the
fossa.
elbow. Okay.
I don't know
Elbow.
where it is. Okay, skip.
Intercondyle is between them.
Yeah, gonna be between the
Right.
condyles.
Cuboid.
Right, cuboid.
Right? Yep.
All the way
Keep
lateral.
Nice. Good control.
Click onto right there.
Right here? No,
Right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Capitate.
Oh,
Right,
hand.
capitate.
Let me move it. Move it.
We got
Yeah.
it.
Look for the hamate and it's right next to it. The one with the hook. Go anterior. Oh, posterior. So you can see.
Posterior?
No, we got it.
Move it.
Okay. Wait. Oh, press that.
Right here?
Oh.
Confirm?
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Great
Okay.
job.
Skip.
Skip.
Oh,
It's
isn't that
probably
the
one of
green?
these, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Third lumbar.
Lumbar. Should I go?
Go back.
Oh no, we could go up, right?
Vertebrae.
Wait,
No,
There's only
that's-
5. Oh,
that's the
vertebrae.
thoracic, right? No,
Skip.
I don't remember.
Skip.
It's been
I
too
don't
long.
remember. I can't
That's
count.
Anterior.
longitudinal.
Oh,
Right here?
Click that right now. No, no, no. Yes.
oh, I didn't.
Yes.
Good.
I
No,
just
no.
talked about this
Transverse.
right now. Transverse,
Acetabulum.
acetabulum,
Ligament.
acetabulum.
Oh,
It's
wait a
right
minute.
here.
Yeah, it's with the gland.
It's
Okay,
right here.
skip.
Okay, skip.
Annular, I don't know.
Annular.
Skip.
It's okay.
Oh.
Okay,
Aponeurosis.
on left foot.
Plantar.
Plantar.
Plantar, right
Right
here.
here, just right here. The right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, 100%. Patellar ligament.
So
Patellar,
that's
left, up.
Oh, left.
good.
I'm zooming.
Right here.
Right
Yep.
there. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
Versa.
Yes, 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 yes. We got it. Love you guys.
Anterior
Right.
cruciate.
Of the right. Good.
Oh my god, I don't know how we're gonna get
we got it before.
Oh no, yeah.
like how we're gonna press it. Do you have to go
Here, just
post-
press
Okay,
it. Just press
it's-
inside.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Come on.
It's
Mm.
more posterior, guys.
posterior?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, it's been more than 10
Anterior,
seconds.
Okay,
anterior.
let's skip.
Oh, I think we had it.
We had it, but
It's alright.
Plantaris.
Plantaris,
Right,
right.
here. This is
Right here.
looking good.
it is? No.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh my.
Is this the,
I don't know.
Plantaris.
if that's
That's
it.
hers, yeah. It's that one.
is
It's
that
just-
one?
It
Are
works.
you
Like,
sure?
That
Yeah,
looks like
it's
the
the thinnest one.
Achilles.
That's not a
That's not Achilles.
Oh, sorry.
Nice. Good job.
Look, Alcis.
Good, good, good.
Is it-
Click this right now.
This one?
No, that's not
That's
it.
costal.
Go, it's on the
The
back.
back.
I know. I just did this right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Click this right
Of
here.
the left. Make sure it's left.
This is
Left
right.
is
This is
gonna
right.
No, no. This one.
This one?
Let me think. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Good.
Louise minimus.
Why do we always get this?
It just knows me.
Okay, the right to the top, the top. The
The
top, the top, the top. The right.
Oh, the right.
You're fine. You caught it in time. We're good.
Vastus left.
Right here.
Yep.
100%.
Good.
Yep.
Good job. Doing good on time, guys.
Flexor,
Okay,
Good job.
flexor,
Hallucis.
hallucis, longus, leg.
Like
Yep. Hallucis.
flexors
Of the right.
Good. Good.
Is it front?
No. It's,
Front, right?
oh wait, no, it's in the back.
It's in the back.
Flexor.
So the
back.
flexor.
We can skip.
We're good on time.
Okay.
Press.
Okay, what do you want me to press?
All right. So it's with the big toe.
Skip. Coracle
Ooh.
brachialis.
Right
Left.
there.
Good.
Right
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's connected
This-
to.
It's like more.
Click that.
Is it
No,
this
no, no,
one?
no, no.
That's not.
No.
It's the first one.
This one?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
That's not it.
That's not it. Skip.
Okay, guys, so this is anybody's game right now. This is very, very tight with 1 minute left.
And here's where that strategy of skipping versus taking a chance and answering really comes into play.
Yep.
Because we got 3 missed questions. Arlington side. And then we got a missed question on the other side. Skip versus if they get it wrong, that could be the
Got one correct answer, could win it right here. 106 to 99. Boy, if Auburn can just get one question, they'll take the lead right here with 20 seconds left. This is very close.
very tight match.
Up to 109. 109 now to 106 with 15 seconds left. This is about as close as it can get.
Get much
All right,
closer.
so they're
All
skipping.
right.
So we're seeing the skipped questions come back over for
All right,
Arlington.
we got some on the nerves and we got some on the bones.
4 seconds, 5, 3 seconds.
It looks like.
Oh,
Auburn's
looks
pulling
like Auburn
ahead,
pulled
and
ahead for the
Auburn
state of
will
Washington. The
win.
2 Washington teams. Auburn
Apple
takes
Cup.
the lead. Yes, the Apple
For the
Cup
Apple Series.
with 119. That's
119
outstanding.
points. Good job.
All right, so that was a great example of how they're using their strategies pretty equally through that. But you'll see that as we get through there, as the questions get tougher, and these teams that move on, they're all so good that these scores will be very close. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the next round. So in the next round, we have Dr. Lee and the ICU Bandits, and going against head-to-head with the East Chapel Hill Wildcats from North Carolina. So 2 teams from Washington making it into the Final Four. We have 1 team making it into the finals now, so congratulations. And now we're moving on to the last of the top 4 teams to see who will play in that final round. Good
Against
luck.
Auburn.
Yes, good luck to both
Good luck,
teams.
both teams.
Scaffold.
Hey, you guys can click start.
Wait,
Hmm?
let me get.
Cuboid falls. I don't know.
Oh, right. I
Cuboid.
don't have that thing. We can, okay, well, let's start then. Okay. We do a single
Fourth lumbar.
Just skip it.
Cuboid.
Right? Cuboid.
I don't know where this. Okay, just think about it. Okay, median sacral crest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choroid fossa. It's in the. It's up here.
Acromial.
No.
Oh, yes, right there, sorry.
Right.
My God.
Is that the radial? No, that's ulna. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's right, yes, go. Fourth lumbar,
Clavicle.
come on, you can do this. It should be that one.
That doesn't look
right
like
there.
it.
That's
Which one?
the
Yeah.
femurs though. We know that one.
This one?
I think so.
Intertubercle sulcus, okay.
It's fine. Inguinal.
Tubercle.
That's yeah.
String
The
left.
purple line. The purple. You gotta zoom.
Zoom in.
Zoom in right there. The purple line right there, yeah.
Acetobellar.
Skip. I don't know where you see.
Intercondylar fossa.
Go knee. Go to the posterior knee.
You want to skip?
Right there, green.
Interspinous.
Scaphoid.
Oh, we have
Hand,
these.
yes, right there. Yes.
Is it no, that's the posterior.
Anterior talapocular, or a leg.
Oh, I think it's the ones between the
Leg.
vertebrae. Oh, I'm trolling.
Fibula side.
Right.
This one?
Talapocular. Let me see.
No.
That looks like it,
don't
yeah.
click the plantar.
Where's the popliteal then?
Oh, we got it. Inguinal.
So that is the back.
Clear.
Oh, yes, right there, this one, right there.
There's one.
No,
below.
this thing.
That's the knee capsule.
No, skip.
Fine.
Anterior labrum. I don't know.
Semimembranosus. That's on the back of the leg.
Okay, it's in the thing. In the thing. You gotta zoom
This
in.
one? Is the membranosus the one that connects?
That's
That's tendon. This is membrane then.
Yeah,
Piriformis.
it is. Oh my God.
I know where this is.
Yeah, go to right.
This is on the arm?
Oh, it's, I think no, it's in the feet.
So, we're telling you go.
Just go.
Right.
Like, is it there? Can we just skip it?
Brachialis.
Top right.
Vicky.
Yeah, okay, here.
You sure?
Okay,
That
go
looks
to
like
the
biceps to me.
Oh, sub is. Oh, no. This is underneath
Adductor.
the scapula. I don't think you can see it. You gotta go to the other side.
Oh,
Over there more.
you sure? Okay, yeah, that looks right.
Yeah.
No. Iliocostalis lumborum.
Flexor digitorum on the right. Wait, it's in the foot. It's in the foot.
Oh, fuck.
On the back, yeah. Okay. Can you just zoom in? I think you can access.
This one? No, that's the psoas. Wait.
And skip.
No. Just
Okay.
the right. Right here.
Oh
Oh my
Okay,
God,
it's
it's
not this one. So
Okay,
it's
can
one
you
under
click?
this.
Try to open that one. No. Go to that side.
I think that's the teres minor though. Yeah.
Wait, actually.
Musculocutaneous.
It's hard to get. Under.
Yeah.
Basilic.
Piriformis, go to. Oh, actually, it's from here. It's
Closer, medial to body.
Dr. Magnus, go to the back.
Is the basilic on the upper arm or lower arm?
Up there, like just click. Blue.
Left one, right? So, can you zoom in, please? I think it's that one. This one?
External
No.
iliac.
Yes.
Popliteal.
Hold
Go to the
on,
back.
it's
go to
stuck
the
on my
back.
mouse.
Back. Right side.
No, that's internal.
That thing, yeah.
No, this is plantars.
Sorry, my
All right.
bad.
Tough. Oh. All right. So I think Tiffany made these questions a little more difficult than we would have hoped.
Than I meant to.
Okay, so I did want to talk about some of the things that you're seeing happen here. So we didn't discuss at the very beginning of this that as we go through the questions, they sort of move through systems. So you see the musculature, you see skeletal, and then you get into nerves and arteries and things like that. You'll notice that the teams are having to zoom in sometimes to find that particular structure. They can also rotate and flip the cadavers in order to find what they want to do. So you're seeing them do that. Initially and early on in any particular tournament, when you're doing this via a Zoom meeting or an online platform like this, it can be very challenging to learn how to use the table. And these students have done an amazing job. It is one of these things where they just become experts so quickly, and that's not easy to do. So,
to interrupt you, but it looks like East
all right.
Chapel Hill
So
has
with
taken the win, even
only
though they're a
12
little bit
seconds
behind.
left, yeah, we had a little bit of a delay on the start for the other teams. We got 86 points over there to
Something.
East.
What will it be? 158, it looks like.
158 to
Wow.
East Chapel Hill. So moving on, 86 to the ICU Bandits. So moving into the finals, we have Auburn, who'd scored 119 from the state of Washington, and East Chapel Wildcats from North Carolina, who scored 158 in these last 4 rounds. So congratulations to those 2 teams moving forward. Now again, the next round is designed to be even more difficult.
Hopefully I didn't make it too hard.
Yes, well, we all know who to blame if we can't get any of them right.
Oops.
So, what we're going to do next is, this is it. This is for all the marbles, essentially. So, the winning team for today, the prizes, are going to be an Anatomage VR tablet. This is the new anatomy tablet that we have. We just introduced it, but we're going to award that to the top players. We're also giving away Apple iPads to the second place team, iWatch SEs to third place, and AirPod Pros. So just getting here makes it worth your while, that's for sure. So I want to say congratulations to those teams that have come through. So,
Oh, and to all competitors in the top 8, they're going to receive ebook licenses to aid in
Right.
their anatomy and physiology studies. So get to the top 8 and you get something.
absolutely.
But that Anatomage VR tablet's going to be a good prize to take home for that top team.
Very nice. Okay, so again, you're going to see the strategies employed here. We saw this actually on the last round where Baton Rouge, or the ICU Bandits, they were skipping early and quickly because they just wanted to get to the questions that they might know the answers to. And then what you saw from the Wildcats at East Chapel Hill, they were kind of taking their time looking at the root of the structure, that is the Greek and Latin roots and suffixes, and then trying to determine based on what they're seeing and their former knowledge, where is that? So there's 2 different strategies that you can use here. But again, they kind of just slow and steady kept scoring points by taking their time rather than rushing through. So as we get into the next round, we're going to see a mix of those 2 strategies. It's going to be very interesting to see who pulls ahead, but I have a feeling this is going to be a very tight race. So we're covering both coasts here. We've got East Coast and we've got West Coast. We've got the state of Washington with Auburn, and we've got over on the East Coast the Wildcats for North Carolina. Good luck, both teams.
Both teams.
Skip. Oh no.
See, hand.
Yes.
No,
Wait, no,
it's
no.
in the
It's
it's in
bad.
the
My
skull. It's
bad.
in the skull.
Oh, it's skip.
It's in the skull.
Oh, it's skip.
It's skip.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
Foot.
one
Okay.
Go down.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
left.
Can I just?
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
On this side.
Okay.
Proximal phalanx of the third. Right here. Third. Yeah.
Is that it?
Phalanx.
In between.
Dorsal.
Yeah.
Radio tube.
Coronoid.
Process.
Left. Left.
That's good.
This one, right?
Yes.
This one? Guys, we have to go.
Yeah.
Is it that one?
Go for it.
Left.
Okay.
Hand. The right. Yeah.
Look for the
That
hook.
one right there.
Do you want me to do posterior or what?
No, just
zoom
zoom
in.
in there.
Right.
Right here.
Which
That
That
one.
one? Or no?
Yeah, it has kind of a.
We can skip.
Or
Confirm?
yes,
No.
no,
It's okay. We're good now.
Second or
the
second?
coronary process.
Go to the back.
Green. Yeah. Wait, that was process. That was process.
Okay,
Dorsal
it's
radial
right
cervical.
there.
Radials
Sure.
are
Is that the, okay, how much?
Oh no, go.
I don't even know.
skip.
Is this the first one?
Skip.
Yeah.
Guys, skip, confirm.
Just confirm it, we. I don't
Yeah,
know.
go
Okay.
for it.
Sphenoid.
Okay, good. Radial sternum postal.
I don't know.
Heel and meniscus. Okay. Right foot.
Oh,
or
start
right
on
foot.
Left.
Membrane.
Click the inside of that disc.
Yeah, left. So click on the,
Yes.
yeah, right. Don't you think? Above that?
Oblique
Above that?
popliteal ligament.
Oh.
Oh, skip if you don't know.
Oh, is it the ring right there?
Oblique.
It was the ring.
Posterior.
Probably that one.
And then left's gonna be
On the
down here.
bottom now.
Yeah.
Like the Y.
Okay.
Click
I don't know.
this.
This?
I don't know.
Oblique. This is oblique,
Yeah.
right?
That's the only one that curves.
Okay.
Radial meniscus.
Right.
Of the right.
Radio.
Saw the R.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Medial.
there you go.
That's not. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dorsal.
Sorry.
Metacarpal. Dorsal.
Oh wait.
Dorsal.
Metacarpal.
Skip.
Dorsal.
Yeah.
Skip.
Metacarpal.
We're good.
Yes. That's the dorsal.
Subacromial bursal.
Yeah. Left.
Posterior membrane.
Good job, Aisha.
Yeah. Yeah. That one.
Click this right here.
Dorsal metacarpal down.
Under the
There.
cranium.
Metacarpal. There.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I cannot see that.
Oh.
We can.
No.
Taking a
No. Metacarpals.
Oh,
No. Dorsal.
Esophagus.
Dorsal. You're on the palmar side right now.
that's the trick, yeah.
yeah, go
Yeah,
below
go
it.
down.
Go right
Go
below it.
posterior or
There.
just-
No, this is the trachea,
That's-
isn't it?
It's like this
It's
one.
behind
Yeah,
it.
that right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Those. No. These.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
those-
I knew
those,
this was
yeah.
gonna be
Right
here,
right
here.
there. Yeah.
You got it. Nice try.
Urinary bladder.
It's just that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tertiary.
Bronchi.
One of these.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you don't know it,
Look at
left.
this big.
Left is up, so.
And it won't
Maybe,
be.
is it this one?
Left.
It says left.
Oh.
And that.
It's part of your large intestine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go through that.
Because that's the only one that can work.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, primary teres.
Right,
Right? It's right here.
Right.
Click this right here.
Good Zenobia.
that's the,
Yes.
Yeah.
Terry.
That's
Yeah.
the only one that goes like this.
No.
Yeah.
They cut it. Okay, they cut it.
Flexor,
Okay.
digitorum
Left
brevis.
one.
Flexor.
Yeah,
Right.
this.
Oh, left.
Yeah, good.
Flexor.
Flexors on the back.
Flexors on the back. So let me just.
Flexor digitorum brevis. Okay.
Oh, there's a good view.
It's in there.
Yes.
On the foot. It's the bottom of the foot.
Look how far it goes down.
Brevis is shorter. I think that's it because the old one goes all the way
Confirm for me.
down.
This is the left side.
Okay,
Yeah.
tibialis brevis. Right.
right.
No. That thing. Yeah. Remember?
Oh. Is that? Is
One of your cherries. Okay, go to the
Is
left.
it that one?
I
No.
feel
No, I meant the
like
one
Shoot,
above.
this isn't the
Oh, the one
hand.
above
Can you? You on there?
Maybe that's.
No,
no, that's longest.
I'm not just.
Longest goes all the way
We
under.
had
This
it
one.
on the,
This one?
Don't quite on my strength.
Yeah, that
Is
one.
this one? Is this
Yeah,
one?
because
Okay.
the other one
Isn't
isn't
that
that tibialis anterior? I mean
No.
posterior.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
sternocleidomastoid.
On the
Can
right.
you just go to
Yeah.
the back?
That's a good one.
This is not medial.
Semitendinosus.
On the back.
Posterior.
No.
It's me-
Oh,
yes,
more.
because
it's right next to membranous, right?
Okay.
That was
Click
not
on
the.
this.
That was not
Oh,
it. That was the
yeah.
first.
That's biceps.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
that's-
one. That one.
It's that one.
The other one was biceps. And then the
Just click
membranous
right
is on the
underneath.
right.
Wait, membranosus is under it.
No.
Isn't that the left?
so
Yeah.
pick that one really quick.
Isn't that the left? No,
No,
that's the
no, this is-
membranosus.
this is- yeah,
That's the
it's-
membranosus.
It's for skinnier.
No.
Extensor, skip.
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh.
You know, girl.
Isn't quad?
On the right.
Okay, so
And
it's like.
it goes
On
on
the top.
Oh, you are?
Make sure it's on top.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Oh, we're
Realized
on.
we were
Great.
Whoops.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like East Chapel Hill is still using their slow and steady wins the race methodology, and it's working pretty well for them. Auburn.
And we saw Auburn doing a lot of skips early on, trying to get to some of the structures that they might recognize and get some points with. But again, you made this very difficult. So they had to skip through quite a few to even get there. Both on 26 right now of 30 questions with only 15 seconds left. You can really see East Chapel Hill Wildcats. Looks like they've got this one in the bag at 176 points. That's outstanding I don't often see even over 120 points on this round. So they finished at 186.
I have to
So,
say,
wow.
I am very impressed. As the creator of this wonderful quiz here, I am highly impressed.
See a
But,
lot of-
I have to remind myself, these are high school students. This is absolutely
Yeah.
mind-blowing to me that these are high school students that are able to awesome.
And I see a lot of jumping around back there for East Chapel Hill. So, and well deserved, by the way. So
Well-deserved.
congratulations
Congrats
to
both teams.
East Chapel Hill for being the champion of the inaugural Anatomage National Tournament. This is the first time we've ever done one of these national. So congrats to you guys for taking the top seed there.
And
So
congrats to Auburn for making it to finals.
for number 2, yep,
That's
absolutely.
nothing to sneeze at.
So in order of victory here, the number 1 team coming in with 186 points in the final was East Chapel Hill. So congrats, you guys will each win an Anatomage VR tablet. The number 2 team, Auburn of the tournament, each of those team members will receive an iPad. And then the number 3 team, Arlington, again from the state of Washington, each of those players will receive the Apple iWatch. And then a set of AirPod Pros are going to Dr. Lee and the ICU Bandits. So again, really no losers here at all. Congratulations on everybody for making it through to this. And for those of you who are watching, if you saw how difficult some of these were, I mean, I hope you can really appreciate just what a challenge it is to, like I said, I joked earlier about even answering half of these to get them correct. So it's really amazing how well these students do. So we do want to thank everybody for your participation, not only in the tournament, but for everybody who joined the live production of this, because this is the first one we've ever done. And we're really grateful that you were all here. And we want to, just to let you know, we're going to continue to do these. And we hope that everybody gets more and more excited about these, and we get more and more teams as we go through this. So we're going to have another national tournament next year. We'll have other qualifying rounds as we go throughout the year as well. So please look for those and any announcements that we might have. And we will get, we're going to have a very exciting tournament again next year. And at some point, maybe we'll be able to do some of these live and in person. That would be really great. So we're going to move over and do a quick chat with the winning team and get their perspective. And again, thank you everybody for your attendance and your participation today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Oh, looks like
Apparently
we're
we gotta
still
keep talking.
waiting to talk
Okay.
to the final team there. All right. So for those of you who are watching and maybe considering participating in next year's tournament, what you saw here today were some very good strategies. So the teams that didn't have the answer right away, they skipped. And one of the things that we always coach people on is if you don't know the answer and you're going to skip it fast, right? Don't take 10 or 20 seconds to think it through and argue amongst yourself,
And
because
then
that's,
decide to
yeah, because then you've skipped it and you've just lost 20 or 30 seconds. You're probably never going to get that back. If you take the time and you're looking at it and you're really trying to figure out which is the best one, and you're 30 seconds in, you might as well take a shot. Because at that point, that question's probably not going to resurface at the end of the time because you will have run out of time. So, and I will also say that most of the time, the teams have it right. So I will see people get in there, think that they have it wrong when in reality they have it right, but they panic and skip it. They lost 30 seconds and they lost the opportunity to get those points. You might as well take a shot, because if you don't get it right, you only lose one. So pay close attention to the strategies. And we're definitely hope everyone picked up on a lot of hints and helpful hints for upcoming tournaments. And we wish you all the best in each of those.
And always trust your gut. That's the moral of the story.
Always trust your gut, indeed. Okay, can you guys hear me? You guys hear us okay?
Yes.
All right. Hey, congratulations. That's outstanding.
Awesome job.
Super job. So, hey, tell us about this experience for you guys, and how did you guys prepare coming into this?
Well, I guess so. We have a table at our school, and so some of us use the table to like learn and test ourselves on during lunch. on the nerves, and we also found a lot of online websites and bought textbooks and
Wow.
flashcards.
Right there.
Yeah, good for you. Okay, so I'm seeing fingers point there. Why are we pointing at our team captain here? Is she the one who?
What?
She bought all this stuff.
Yeah. Wait,
Well, 3 textbooks, right? Yeah, 3 textbooks. And flashcards.
There we are.
Oh, here we are. So outside of studying that way, we hear some teams employ different strategies. Like one person will try and learn something, and then another group learns it. Is that similar to what you guys did? Like one of your team members learned the muscle group and someone learned nerves?
So we did something of both, where we'd have individual study time where each person was assigned their own system to study, and then we'd have team study time, which we would all study the same things together. Yeah,
Wow, good for you guys. So it sounds like you guys have done a ton of preparation. How much time have you spent getting ready for this tournament?
More time than I was actually needed.
Well, yeah.
Like more time than we thought.
Because we went more in depth than the tournament actually asked us for.
Wow.
Oh, so I didn't make it too hard.
No.
Yeah, so it sounds like Tiffany didn't make the questions too hard for you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys did, I mean, the scores that you got all throughout it were really good. And we see some of the teams employing the, hey, I'm going to skip and move through to get to questions, or we see teams kind of taking their time and, like you talked about, although you guys couldn't hear it, but maybe really trying to understand what is that structure and then take your time and take a shot at it. And you guys did some of that. So sometimes you were doing a little bit of both. Coming into this, did you have a specific strategy like that outside of saying, hey, each one is dedicated to a certain system? Did you say we're skipping and moving on, or what did you say you wanted to spend time on?
Yeah, so it's actually funny because we decided the strategy right before we started by watching the other teams that were doing it. So because we were not quite sure how to employ the strategy, so we decided to do a mixture of both, because we could see that sometimes for us it worked if we skipped, but it didn't like work if we tried to find it, but sometimes it worked better if we tried to find the thing. And
So it's kind of just like depending.
It depended on the situation.
how well we knew the structure that was asking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the most difficult part of preparing for this?
Because we didn't know what was gonna be like quizzed on. We didn't know how in depth to, so we were kind of really nervous the whole time whether or not we had prepared enough. Yeah.
And did your perspective change when you went from the qualifying rounds, for example? It's because we had the preliminary rounds and you went through all these qualifying rounds just to get to today. Did those help you, or did it change at all your strategy or tactic and how you studied?
Well, actually, I feel like it did change our trajectory, because
Yeah.
we were going way too in depth of the anatomy, and after the preliminaries and the top 8, we realized that we didn't really have to focus that much on detailed parts. We just needed review.
The major structures.
Like how it started with
Yeah.
the landmarks, then muscles.
Right. So we would set up our team in a way that the person who was in charge of the bones was in the middle, so they could help direct me better, and then we'd swap out during the.
That's great. And I will say I was very impressed with the ability for you guys to control the table and to be able to zoom in, kind of rotate the cadaver and find any structures that you were looking for. So my hat's off to you for that, because that's not always a very easy thing to do. So well done on your part right there. Is there any tips or recommendations you would make for teams that are considering joining next year's tournament? Or I'm sure a lot of teams who did this year are going to go into it next year as well. And they're going to want to hear from the winning team, hey, what would you recommend we do?
Study.
But
more importantly, memory aids. Those are really helpful.
Right. Also, there's I think building teamwork, like having team study sessions where you can build your teamwork and knowing like when to trust your teammates. And I guess sometimes you're whoever the designated team captain is, especially if you're doing like an online one like this, they'd have to be one who can decide which of their teammates to like trust for a structure and when to skip or confirm. And so like building up that teamwork would also help probably.
That's really good advice. Outstanding advice. One of the things that we see people or some of the teams get kind of hung up on is orientation. And I was talking about this at the beginning of the tournament. that sometimes when you change the cadaver from back to front, for example, what used to be left is now right? So it can do that. And it seemed like you guys were pretty good at that. Had that always been the case, or did you ever struggle with that?
So we tried to like assign that to one person just in case, and I also told my team to scream at me left to right if I was clicking on the wrong side, so that
So screaming was one of the strategies that you asked your team to employ to create your level of success.
I think it's also important for the team captain to be able to remain calm when everyone else is like running around practically.
That's a very, very good point. Well, you guys were outstanding, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and your skills. Again, it's amazing that you guys moved through the rounds to the level that you did, and to get such a high score in the finals. I'm telling you, we don't see, I'd announced it during the play-by-play, but maybe 120, 130 sometimes is a high score during this last round, and you guys got 186. So that's amazing. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. Any last words of wisdom or anything you'd like to tell the viewers of today's live production? Nope, no last words of wisdom. We'll take what you've already given us then.
Well, I guess like going into this, we wanted to try our best and win first. But obviously at the same time, it's like a tournament to have fun with, not necessarily just to stress over. So like our mindset going into this was we want to get first, but if not, we've already made it so far and that's good for us.
Yeah.
And
our goal was top 4 coming into this tournament to just get 4th place.
Well, congrats. That's a great mindset to have, because you're right. Just to even come into this and get any level through this is very challenging. So you guys, with that positive mindset got you all the way through there. And I guess maybe the last question I would ask you, living in a world where we've been on Zoom for so long and it can be challenging to have fun in one of these meetings. It sounds like you guys came into it with the mindset that we're just going to have fun with it anyway. And so I guess my question to you is, was it as fun as you had hoped coming in, or
Yeah.
how? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because it was a blast watching you guys, really, again. So what you did, the teamwork that you employed, is great advice for anyone coming into any of our additional tournaments. I think that if they take your template and used everything that you just shared with us, that you're going to have some stiff competition from all the other teams.
Probably.
So again, thank you so much. Congratulations. This is the first national tournament we've ever done, and you guys are the inaugural winners of that tournament. So again, thank you for all the time, the effort, the energy. You've been great. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.